What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the GTS? This is ISmileyzI here, bringing you a very good OU match that I had just while laddering the other day, and ran into this guy by the name of Shiltomp, and we had ourselves a very good OU battle. I'm on my alt, that there man, but usually I am Smileyz on Showdown, so if you guys want to challenge me or something, there you go. I'm going to quickly go over my OU team here for you guys. I got a Life Orb, Mamoswine, pretty standard set. And I have a bulk up Conkeldurr with Ice Punch instead of Payback. I have a specially defensive Jirachi. I have a Life Orb Alakazam, which might be the biggest threat on this team. It's really good. It does a lot of damage, a lot more damage than the Focus Sash set. And I just like it. It gets a lot of kills. I got a specially defensive Rotom with a Pain Split, with a Pain Split, yes. And I have a 4-attack Slandurus. Threats on his opponent's team mainly include the Landorus and the Alakazam, but more so the Landorus because if my Rotom goes down, I really have nothing to take a hit. I either have to revenge kill with Mamoswine or Alakazam, and it's just risky business. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to say, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the battle. I'm going to go ahead and lead with Rotom because I usually lead with Rotom, and I make the mistake of going for the Will-O-Wisp when I should have just gone straight for the Hydro Pump because Rotom is just a hard counter to this Hippowdon, and I had no reason to just dilly-dally around with the Will-O-Wisp, as I do again here, and it was really, the second play was even worse because he has an Alakazam, and the Will-O-Wisp isn't going to be doing anything to that. Luckily, I do have the Jirachi to take the hit from the Alakazam, and it only does about 8%. And I'm just going to go ahead and fire for Body Slam because might as well. And he goes into his Hippowdon, and I go for the Body Slam and do score the paralysis, which is always nice. Little pair hacks here and there, doesn't hurt. And I'm going to go ahead and switch out into my Rotom because it is a hard counter, like I said before, to this Hippowdon. But he does predict this nicely and goes for the Whirlwind. He Whirlwinds me into my Alakazam, and I go for Psyshock thinking he is going to go for Whirlwind again. I get a crit, doesn't really matter too much, as I do get killed by the Earthquake, which sucks. Possibly my biggest threat on my team is gone, and yeah, that was pretty devastating. But I'm going to bring in my Rotom, and I make the good play finally and go for the Hydro Pump, and his Hippowdon goes down. He's going to go ahead and switch to his Ferrothorn, and I'm going to go ahead and go for the Volt Switch. And I'm going to Volt Switch into my Conkeldurr, which is the best thing that I have to take on this Ferrothorn, really. I could hit it hard with a Drain Punch, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go for the Drain Punch, and I'm going to end up critting this Ferrothorn, which didn't really matter that much, because I would have gotten a lot of damage on it, wouldn't have been able to finish it off next turn, I guess. He might have got another layer of Spikes up, which might have mattered, but, you know, it doesn't really matter that much. He brings an Alakazam, and I'm just going to go ahead and switch into my Jirachi because I pretty much know it's a hard counter to Alakazam since he's just switched out on it every time. And I'm going to go ahead and fire off yet another Body Slam as he goes into his Rotom. And I'm going to end up getting the paralysis once again, so that is awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and switch out. And I'm going to switch out into my Conkeldurr because it is really the best thing that I have to deal damage to this Rotom as he pulls out the rest, and that's going to be huge for him because this turn he's able to get a big hit off on my Conkeldurr as I just try to get damage on this Rotom with the Drain Punch because, to be honest, it's the best thing I got to hit it. So I do go for the Drain Punch. I do a little bit over half of his health, and I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Landorus because my thought process here was he's not going to go for the Hydro Pump because he doesn't want to miss and he doesn't want to lose his Rotom. So I could go into Landorus, and he doesn't want to switch into anything, so I just take it out with a Psychic easily. Goes into his Alakazam, and I go into Rotom. Now this was kind of a mistake. I should have just gone right into my Jirachi. I had really no reason to go into Rotom. I don't know what he wanted to do. I honestly have no idea. But he goes for the Hidden Power Ice, which is resisted, and I am able to live a Psyshock and Volt Switch, breaking the possible Sash, and going to my Jirachi, which I should have gone before, because now my Rotom is just dead to hazards. I'm going to go ahead and fire off a Body Slam, because it is my best thing to go for here, as he goes for Focus Blast, which doesn't do a lot of damage, and my Jirachi gets the third paralysis of this battle, so my Jirachi's doing work in this battle, so that's great. I do take out his Alakazam, but he does get a free switch into his Landorus now, and I decided to sacrifice my Rotom, which would have been a good play had he not had the substitute, which really blows because I'm going to have to go into my Landorus, and if I don't win this speed tie, I lose the battle, and I do win the speed tie, so I do, I don't necessarily win the battle, but I am able to break his sub and fortunately lose my Landorus. Now I'm forced to go into my Mamoswine, and I do go for the Ice Shard, but it was kind of predictable that he would go into Stalent. Landorus was too big of a threat though at the time, so I really just wanted to go for the Ice Shard. It does pretty good damage to the Stalent for being an Ice Shard. And I'm going to go into Jirachi, really useless damage, really useless member of my team at the moment. And he goes for a return, and luckily he is Life Orb, so I am able to get a little bit of damage on him there. And I'm going to go ahead and go into my Conkeldurr because it was really the best play I got. Really the only play I got now. And I'm going to go ahead and go for the Ice Punch, because I know he's going to go for Landorus here. Really that play decides the outcome of the match. Depending on what both players did, they would have decided the match. But as it is now, it's going to be a tie because I'm going to Ice Shard and he's going to Superpower and die to Life Orb. Like I said, I really like this match because just the second to last turn, how crucial that was. Literally that turn decided the outcome of the battle. Something like if I doubled the Mamoswine, I would have won. If I had Mach Punch, though, I would have lost. So basically, you know, whatever I did and he did, that turn decides the battle, and I thought that was really cool. So I wanted to share that with you guys. It ended up being a tie, and you know, ties does usually signify a good battle, not necessarily, but this time it did. So I do hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Smileyz. I don't want to ramble on too long, but I do hope you enjoyed. And please like this video and check out my channel. The link will be in the description. I do hope you enjoy what you find there. This has been Smileyz, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video.